Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
You actually, I am so, I can tell. I can tell that you were pleased. I can also tell that you think that you're not 100% sure if it was going to work.
Yeah, you never know these days.
But no, listen. Already things are off to a great start.
Josh is a wonderful teacher.
Yeah, he teaches all of us every day. Now, so obviously this is a very special in the manner of, our typical 80s and 90s throwback content. Yeah. This is obviously a very
Story
special
of a girl.
and it's time. It's time to go absolutely hog wild. And I'm gonna pull up chat.
Mm-hmm.
My omnipresent companion in these dark times. But no, we are 100% ready to execute a very special episode of Black Remnant. This is going to be an episode where, young Stavron at school, somebody invites him to a party, and so this is an opportunity for us to put out some anti-drug messages. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we've been leading up to the whole time, is this sort of sermonizing. But now we've earned it. Yeah. Now 42 episodes in, now we're in a position to make these kinds of proclamations. No, that's actually not what's happening. It is a very special episode, but mostly just because I got sick after Oz. Not even there or on the home. After I got home,
right?
Then I managed to get sick. But Kiko is someone who does not like to be sick, and so I did not want to expose him to that. But we did come up with a cool concept for an episode, and I mean, you can lead them right into it. I mean, what happened last time we saw our heroes?
Yeah, when last time we saw our heroes, a lot of stuff was going down.
Yes.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
You all took a job. Specifically, Stavron took the job.
Yes.
From the Sommelier's cohort, the Cicerone.
That's right. So there's some real brewer jokes going on in here that a very specific band of the audience can appreciate. But yes.
But you had negotiated, instead of losing the piece of the bounty hunter's armor, you negotiated to get a what was the mech that you negotiated for?
Is this the one we were looking for? A Dragonfire?
A Dragonfire, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're just going to continue our efforts to collect them all. We're basically playing a kaiju Pokemon situation. Having secured the blood asp, we just want to continue to have as many giant stompers as we can.
Yeah. And you, in negotiating with Cicerone, you somehow managed to get him down to where he's almost owing you money for the Dragonfire.
It was such a surprisingly decent deal from Stavron. First of all, that's not the brand.
No.
Second of all, it's like it went so well. But honestly, I had some strong rolls in there too.
You did.
And so in my mind, I'm like, did it go well because I've actually just taken a stupid job? Or did it go well because he's finally starting to figure some of this shit out?
I think it's the latter. I think Stavron knows it, especially from the dice rolls. You were given extra, or dice were taken away from the roll that you had to make. So it was the role playing definitely had some accountability for that.
Well, it definitely pushed it over the top. So trying to get a hold of this new hardware, but also like trying to ingratiate myself with this network too. I guess before I met this representative of the larger system, I don't think that we had a sense that this was a network in the classic sense. I thought he was more of a regional operator, a boutique.
Yeah.
But it turns out that that's not the case.
Well, clearly you and the Sommelier have something in common. You're franchising out. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I identified that early on as well. And so it seems to me like if I can make this sort of deal work, if I can be someone that they come to solve these kinds of problems, both of these networks can move together in the inner. And what are you pleased?
Yeah. You're saying you're gonna start fencing your salvage to this crew?
It's all about finding the right buyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But no, I'm super excited to see where that goes. But yes, we were sent here to scan 3 distinct regions. Now, we were sent to scan them and identify them for pickup, or are we supposed to do the pickup as well?
You're supposed to do the pickup as well.
We played.
No. So you were given, you needed to do the salvaging, but you were instructed not to look in the salvage, but bring it back.
Just to secure it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
We'll see how that goes.
And you were able to identify 2 buildings so far that contained salvage in it, or this salvage that you're looking
Yeah.
for.
Like whatever has the specific signatures, this network was looking for. So we found 2 of the 3, and then shortly thereafter, my mongrel was annihilated, and I was launched into the sky, which is what gave us our concept.
Yeah.
For our very special episode of Black Remnant, which is currently in progress.
Correct. You remember that the Highlander and the guillotine were both destroyed in combat already. But you know that Zigzag and Roshan have taken some considerable damage as well.
Yeah, they did everything they could to, at least, from our perspective, they leveraged a forest in their right flank and really punished a couple of these mechs. But this is heavy equipment.
Yeah.
Like this is some pretty real shit. And so obviously they took a bunch of blows as well. And that's about the time I called in Burnout, who was already, I think, a little agitated that certainly now that he's being hunted across the inner sphere, he seems to be concerned that he hasn't had. He needs to be behind the yoke.
Yeah, he needs to get in some cockpit time.
He needs to, in a very, very rare show of self-concern. I think he feels, and we'll see how it goes. He feels like he is behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that he felt like he got away, lucky last time, because it did come down to something very, very close.
Oh yeah, it was do or die.
Right.
At that last encounter.
And in the end, the bounty hunter essentially went right for him and tried to deliver the result. And that would have done it. Like one hit at any of those times would have done it.
Yep. And Burnout came in already guns ablazing.
Oh yeah, he leapt out.
Yeah. So even at his worst or at his rustiest, he's still better than anybody on that ship, even Roshan. But he doesn't feel that way.
No, I mean, he has a lot of experience. But one of the other things that we did in that last game was because we're playing a heady blend of Destiny, Mechwarrior Destiny, and Alpha Strike. which you're absolutely intended to do. All the rules for playing both simultaneously are in the books. Um, we're essentially playing a mercenaries, roguelite style campaign, and we made a investment of I think 8 million sea bills.
You did.
In Rashawn's skills.
Yeah.
And so he's down to a 2.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty
frightening on the battlefield.
It's pretty hardcore stuff. It really is. And so, I mean, my guess is that he is probably, well, he is approaching or at just from raw talent what Burnout is able to accomplish with experience.
Yep.
Right? There's a junction point here, and I think they're reaching it.
Correct. But yeah, so when last we met, your mongrel was destroyed
behind that silo.
Behind the silo by the von Lufner.
Yeah, but so yeah, exactly. And so we've been putting in some of the vehicles to accompany the mechs, and I love that combo. We gotta get some helicopters in there. We got some hovercrafts.
Yep.
The combined arms aspect of it is just nice, because it's like these forces aren't going to be made up entirely of battle mechs.
No.
Nope. Battle mechs are obviously very, very cool, but they're like at the apex point of that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times you end up managing these things with traditional means.
So as you are floating down, you had ejected from the mongrel, and you can see that you are going to potentially land behind that silo at this point, which you did identify as one of the potential salvage points.
Yeah, and there's 2 over on our part of the map, I think, that we had identified.
Yeah.
And so
it was this one. It was this silo, and there was a building behind you.
Exactly. Sort of halfway up a ridge, if I recall. It's sort of like at least from the top, it's like a diamond-shaped office or storage building, right?
Correct. So your cockpit lands, and it crashes to the ground. You can see Burnout in the Nova moving through without a care through the middle of the field itself. He goes straight up the center. He's not actually doing much to avoid any fire from other mechs or any other engaged enemies.
That doesn't really feel like him. I wonder what's going on with this old man.
Well, you heard him shout a little battle cry, so I think.
Oh no, he's old school, like our, sort of our heraldry and heritage. We're sort of like like going back far enough, a branch off of the Highlanders. So he is very much. I mean, he is a very, very much an expert at his craft. But I think typically, certainly when his daughter is around, I think he tries to cut a slightly different figure.
Yeah, and this is not the same. This is not the same patterns as you saw before.
No, yeah, he's out here getting it. Well, God bless him. Hopefully, he can do what I managed to fuck up. Behind the silo there. Typically with the mongrel, I try to get by on its incredible TMM that just makes shots more difficult for enemies. But this was not my day. I exposed myself on the other side of that. I was worried about some of these other vehicles, and I wasn't worried about the right one.
And as you are able to get out of the remnants of the cockpit, you can see a door on the silo, and also across the battlefield, you see Burnout. Samara and Roshan and the Blood Asp still making their way around that wooded area, trying to find cover.
So they're still doing it, but now I'm seeing it from. Now I'm seeing the same fight from a completely different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, so now that we are in a role-playing scenario, do I have my chips?
You have 3 virtual chips, and the coin is in front of you.
Okay, perfect. The virtual coin as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got it all. Here, so I'll set these dice over here. These are going to be my rolling dice, and then these dice are going to represent the digital chit. So having come down here, and so around, I know that the von Luckner is like on the other side of this silo right now, right?
It was pretty far away, probably 100 yards away. It was across the road that was leading up the hillscape, or the hillside. So it's not directly opposite the silo as you.
Okay. But my plan, I mean, I think that I have to hope that all this armor is focused on the other armor, and hopefully I have an opportunity to make myself as much of a pain as possible here inside this base. But I know that this silo houses at least one of the things that we were sent here to get. But I'm also looking for a little bit of cover and safety over here. So even though I'm not supposed to go in there and look at this stuff, I think that I might go in there and look at this stuff for a couple reasons. One, I'm going to use one of my chits.
Okay.
In the ejection, my comms equipment, my radio equipment to communicate with my with the rest of the Black Remnant was damaged.
Okay.
Something in the shock of it, maybe it got damaged, like with that last hit, and I ejected without it. It's as ruined as the rest of that mongrel currently. So it's on the landing I tried to reinitiate communication with the team. Was not able to at all. This is Naked and Afraid Inner Sphere edition. So as soon as I can punch my way out of this, out of the escape, I am going to put my back up against this silo and try to gain access.
The door easily creeps open, but it's slow. It's slow on the pull, right? It feels like this hasn't been opened in a long time, but you manage to get it, and you can, as you kind of slide in to the crevice of the opening that you're able to pull the door out of. All you can hear is the salvos going off from the different forces on the field.
Yeah.
And
so tell me a little bit about, so now that I'm down here and looking at it from this perspective down here, do these facilities seem new?
They seem new, but what seems not new, but they're not old. But they've been used, right? It's not vintage or anything, but it's been used. What you find odd as you make your way into this silo is that it has been hollowed out. where normally there would be,
Actually,
mechanics.
oh,
Yeah,
this silo is not a dynamo or something. Like it's
no,
not generating electricity. It's a fucking shell.
it's a shell. And on the inside, you just see a giant steel box with a control panel on it.
The fuck.
And around the silo, there are eyelets for you to look out onto the battlefield.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna move toward the side of the silo that looks out toward that forest and that central road
Mm-hmm.
that sort of zigzags along the field.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get a an eyeful of that situation, um, just because.
Before you even notice the movement, you hear the crack and rumbling of the treads of the von Luckner moving down the road and down the hillside. So it looks as though it is moving to intercept Burnout and the rest of the
So he's going to head
team.
straight down that hill super fast, and basically provide a flanking element for the rest because they were essentially on one side. That tank is definitely gonna.
Yeah, and you can see the Spartan moving in tune with the von Luckner.
Yeah, it's pure pack
Mm-hmm.
hunting tactics. I head back to the central device.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like just empty shop floor
Mm-hmm.
inside what looks like, some kind of an industrial piece of equipment. It's all fake.
Correct. And this cube is 2 to 3 times the size of you in height and width.
Interesting. Here's and there's a control panel that
Mm-hmm.
is connected to it or operating it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up on it and take a look.
Okay.
I have some. This is one. I mean, Stavrin is not good at many things. But this doesn't keep him from attempting to do them. He just doesn't succeed very frequently. But it's fun. It's fun for him. But computers are actually something that he sort of knows how to do. So I'm gonna wake it up.
Yep. And it lights up without any hesitation.
Interesting. Is it coming up with a menu system, a prompt, like?
It's looking for a passcode.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna have to mess with it. I'm gonna have to hackers the movie. At this time. So my computer skill on this is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the better things I can do. And then I have 2 dice here that I can roll.
Correct.
To try to get in there. So I'm going to do that.
Okay. I have rolled. I've rolled a 6. I've rolled a 6. So whatever you wanna.
No, I have 10 on dice plus 4 for skill. So we're looking real nice on this. I mean, it's probably on a Post-it note or something underneath the keyboard. Like it's that level.
Yeah. What do you do that you're able to get this password cracked?
That would be funny, but I don't. But I want the success to be cooler than that.
Yeah.
So, let's see. What would be the most cool scenario? Can't hack an analog note. Perfect security. I think that this might be a system, at least canonically. The reason that I know how to do these sorts of things is from my time in the military academy. And so my thinking is that there's going to be some commonality
Mm-hmm.
between this system and that other internal militarized system, and there might be some old default admin passwords or like
Mm-hmm.
an unpatched vulnerability in it that is like old school, like you try it just because, but it ends up working.
Yeah.
Just a little throw. He has a little throwback moment in here. So once I worm my way in there and trick it into thinking I have um, full access, then I start digging around in these directories for menus.
Okay. As you operate it, you see a menu for open, a menu item to solidify, and then a menu item to freeze.
Well, I sort of look back at the sliding door behind me, um, and then look back up at this giant cube, hit open, and then sort of like take a step away from it for a second.
Yeah, and as you do, it's very much like the Mummy. No,
Brendan Fraser.
yeah, love the guy, love him. We all love Brendan Fraser here. The steam, the cold steam of a dry environment, a dry ice environment, kind of billows out from the four corners of this cube, and you start to see each side slide down and onto the floor as four pillars still remain in each corner.
Oh, so inside the box are four pillars?
Yeah, the pillars are on each corner of the box, and they were what was keeping the sides up. So
Absolutely.
the sides just rolled down like a garage door onto the floor to expose. I don't know. Tell me something. What do you want it to be?
The posts?
No, what's inside the?
Oh no. Now I'm seeing it. I mean, now I can see the whole thing. So those are sort of remained, but then the guts of it have slid in.
Mm-hmm. I will let you. The button is now to you.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I have it over here. Something that I would be really excited to see. Now, I don't know what any of this is for exactly. All I know is that I'm not supposed to actually know what it is. We're supposed to mark these, and I assume we were supposed to take this box back without looking at it. But now I have to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is solidify.
Yeah.
And freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, I think that because I mean I've seen enough of these internals on battle mechs. So I would recognize something by sight.
Mm-hmm.
I would recognize that these are heat sinks.
Okay.
But now looking at they're hooked up inside of this crate in a kind of test matrix, and the heat, like the heat exchange, like the numbers are so good that they must be wrong.
Okay.
Like its ability to, like, looking at the historical data, like pulling up the charts for these sinks, like there has to be something wrong with the test.
Okay.
Because they're operating like clearly a third greater than the double heat sinks that we have installed.
Okay.
On our, like, in some of our equipment as it stands in some of our battle mechs. Like, I don't. It doesn't occur to Stavrin that they are borderline mystical, lost tech, or anything like this. It just occurs to him that the data must be wrong. Like it doesn't occur to him that he's found an ancient treasure or something incredible. He's just like, well, yeah, I mean they're heat sinks, but they're heat sinks, but these guys don't know how to run the test. Um, I've never seen anything like them, and certainly they're probably good, but um, unless I actually unless I actually installed them and used them, I would not trust any of these numbers. I'm gonna close these back up,
Okay.
and so for later when we have a chance to pull these bad boys back in, um, it might be well. I'm gonna close it up, and then I'm also going to because I have admin access on this box. I'm gonna delete the evidence of my having accessed it.
Okay.
I'll just scrub that out of there.
Roll me another computer check for that.
On my way out, yeah.
God damn it! I got another 7.
Ooh.
7 for me.
No, man, these are my old skirmish game dice that are just delivering results. 5 and 5 on dice
What
plus. I know. Last time it was 6 and 4. 5 and 5 on dice plus 4.
Okay. You can easily scrub that information off of the.
Yeah,
off of
just
the system.
yank it out.
Yep.
Got it.
Roll me a perception test.
You bet.
God. Okay.
Wow, this is not as good.
Don't worry. Neither do I. I'm rolling higher than a 4.
Okay, no, I got an 8, so
Okay.
it's not amazing, but it'll do in a pinch.
So you can hear on the outside and see through the little windows of the silo. You see new units entering the battlefield.
Oh, fresh troops.
They are ground units. The infantry are coming from the north, south, and west side of the field. You see, from what you can see,
orienting toward the map. Which side of the map is north?
north is the top.
Oh, at the top. Okay, perfect. So northeast.
It's the actual. Just use the normal compass.
Gotcha.
So from the north side, coming up behind the von Luckner, you see 4 infantrymen as a squad making their way onto the field, and you can see them heading towards you in the silo.
I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Okay. So, but there's like one point of access to the building.
Yeah, you have only seen the only egress is that one door.
And they're coming in here.
They haven't reached. They are still far away from the silo.
Oh, okay. Then I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through that door that's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to that previous building that we saw just down the hill.
Okay. You could
Like partially on my ass, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to creak open the door again. It's still tough to push, but you're able to get enough leeway with it that you're able to slide out. And
well, yeah, and and it's like I'm out there, and I'm like partially like hiding behind the ruins of the mongrel.
Mm-hmm.
On the basically using that sort of to break sight lines, as I move back and toward the hill.
Yeah, and as you do so, you again, the sound of the carnage of the battlefield is just ringing in your ears as salvos are going off across from each side.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the sort of thing where it's like, every footstep, like every burst from these cannons, it's like there's it's like up in the cockpit, you're insulated somewhat from that. Out here, you can see it in the walls of the buildings, like these little hills that we're going down, like there's like rocks and debris rolling down them every time one of these cannons fires.
Yeah.
Like the place is just vibrating with this fight. If I cast a glance over there, does it seem like Burnout was able to provide a solid flank?
Yes, you can see that Burnout, his what you thought was uncharacteristic was more of a diversion. It appears to draw attention to him and off of Zigzag and Roshan,
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense.
as he has now locked himself in place up against one of the build
And the truth is
structures
that
on the battlefield. Yeah.
is that there's so many lasers. Like that Nova hits so hard up close. Like those fists will punch you from 24 inches away.
Yeah, but as you take a break to turn and look and kind of scan the battlefield, make me an athletics check.
You bet. That's also something he is.
What
okay.
in the? Okay.
Here,
I got a 9.
Okay, I have 6. You know what? I have. This is 5. This is the bad symbol. This is one of those dice that has 2 weird symbols. I had to pick which one is 1. This is going to be my 1. So this is 6 plus 4. So we have 10.
10. So narrowly, you get a tingling sense. Your spider senses go off as you are scanning the battlefield just in time to see a rifle shot come across the field, and you now know that the unit in the north has spotted you, but couldn't quite make their mark.
Couldn't close the deal, and they have lots of other things to think about now too. But yeah, I'm gonna basically that's gonna encourage me to just like physically slide down that hill along with the rest of these along with the rest of this rock, and get inside that, from the top at least, that diamond shaped building that was the first one we identified.
Okay. This one is more it looks as though it was used as a sort of a command center. You can
consoles, like racks of consoles, and
you haven't gotten in yet, but you can easily see that the doors to would slide open. There's nothing preventing you from easily accessing this building.
Yeah, well, here then I'm gonna take a quick look around the side of that building to see if that group is still in active pursuit.
Yes, they are moving towards your location.
Okay, so I am going to get in here with my pistol out.
Okay. As you activate the doors, they slide open and close behind you. This is a little bit more lived in. There are control panels in here. You do see systems that could be tapped into. But again, in the kind of the center of this compound, all of these systems are surrounding another one of these cubes.
What is this? Well, I mean, the Cicerone knows his business. That's the main takeaway from all this. So yeah, I'm gonna gain access to these. I'm gonna try to gain access to these systems in the hopes that typical technology debt has caused some of these systems to be duplicated. I'm going to try to use my existing backdoor on these new systems, and also if there's extra equipment here, I'm just going to see if there's any other tricks I can pull by taking advantage of their systems. I'm specifically trying to figure out if there's a way for me to contact either the ship, the Calypso, or the group.
Okay.
Although maybe contacting the group from their systems is not wise. I could contact the Calypso.
Yeah. Give me a. You can use computers for this.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got a 10.
Hot. It's been hot. Well, here the first dice was a 6, and the 4 takes it to 10, and there's a 3, so 13.
Okay, so tell me what kind of comm system you find.
It's gonna have. I'm gonna have to alter the zenith of the dish.
Mm-hmm.
Up on top of this, this whole thing has been hastily set up. I'll make a mental note of where it was pointed originally, just in case there's something worthwhile to figure out there. Because if they're using this vintage throughout larger portions of their system, and it has a dish that's in communication with whatever their command and control operation is, getting back to it and working that angle could be really nice too. So I make a mental note of its original position.
Okay. And
then I orient it toward the Calypso.
Okay.
And because the vehicle, the ship is basically going to be locked down. Because Burnout is here, and Zigzag is here, and Rashawn is here, I'm going to contact Oberon in the hold, because if there really is about to be a boot level incursion over here, I'm gonna need help.
Yeah, well, as you're doing that, you start to hear blasts strike the door you entered in on.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I might have to hide inside this cube. I'm gonna rig up a remote keyboard.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get a keyboard with me. Bring this cable around. I'm gonna open up the cube.
All right, make me a computer test.
Middle. Here it comes.
I got a 9.
4 plus 2 plus, so that's 6. I got a 9.
Okay.
So is it a push, or is it How do you want to do it?
Oh, you succeed. But what happens is the cube only comes down, instead of going all 4 sides dropping to the floor.
Yeah.
Only 2 sides, one opposite each other. They drop down halfway, and then you see a rack slide up. You hear blasts still hitting the door, but a rack slides up, and you see these giant. It looks like a gun clip, but it's giant.
For a giant clip?
It looks like a giant clip, yeah. And inside are what look like bullets, but there's something odd about these bullets. I'm
gonna bring that. I'm gonna jump in to this cube with one of these console keyboards, and I'm gonna try to close the exterior walls of the cube.
As you try to do that, the wall just moves up, but gets caught on your stomach. It's just too small of a space for you to actually let it slide up.
It is not that large a cube. This is more like it's like a case.
Yep.
For this rack. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Mephistopheles. Yeah, I got to start rigging up novel traps. There's going to be some shaving cream. If I can utilize an ancient film at some point, obviously that's going to be a huge win for me. So what does the console say about the device inside here?
One button says drop and expand. The other one says fold. And the other one says freeze.
I'm going to drop and expand.
Okay. As that happens, you see one of the bullets get pieces of ammo get ejected from the clip, and it folds out into a suit.
Oh, it's like a remote delivery. It's ordnance, but it's actually like, when you say a suit, do you mean like a militarized combat suit?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Does it look like it's hard to get into?
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to figure out where the shit is.
Okay, you're easily able to put on the suit, but as you check the arms, you notice that there is a keypad as well, and there's nothing special about the suit that you feel right now other than a coating around you.
Well, yeah, it's better than I had, I guess. And I can move inside the suit.
You can move freely, yeah. It's easily you're easily able to move.
Here. So I'm gonna hunch over this thing. I'm gonna try to use this. I'm gonna try to use these fingies.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt and peck. Now I need to see if there's any information inside this system, in whatever the grim dark militarized future of PDFs is. Any codes or access information.
So you're trying to access the suit, or are you trying to access it?
I'm trying to, because I feel like I could be working on that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if the system has any of the information on the suit, on the proper codes and access. You see what I mean? I'm
Sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to bite the apple from the other side.
Yep. Yeah. Give me a computer roll. Oh God, that's
yes.
it.
15.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily get access codes.
Man, I have to bring these. I have to bring these in.
Yeah, apparently, and I'm using my classic blue dice because I had another box of them here, and they are not delivering the same results.
Oh. I finally tracked these down. These are becoming baseline products here now. So yeah, I'm just pulling up, like, I'm just looking for some top line items for tools and like any kind of armaments that are built into the suit, or any features or functions of the suit.
I am going to spend a chip.
Are you?
And I'm going to let you describe what you see.
I mean, I have chips too. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. You gave me a couple already.
I got these chips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I am going to let's see. So the coolest way to do it is probably, especially if there's a chip coming.
You know that this is Lost Tech.
Yeah, for sure. This is all weird stuff. I am definitely going to. It might be like
this big.
Yeah, I was saying it might be fun to do it like in a show don't tell way.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull up some of the basic information, and it's like, it's incomplete, right? Mm-hmm. This is what they have managed to discover here. So it's like the types of codes and the types of interactions that are available on this. This is by no means exhaustive, but the few things that they have managed to assess and identify are like a basic melee capability, like a sheathed blade, like pneumatic sheathed blade, like a pile type system.
Mm-hmm.
Not a knife exactly, but more of like a kinetic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And a something like a belt fed, like a belt fed weapon in the right arm.
Okay.
Oh, here, you know what? Here, so Mephistopheles is talking about some old school stuff. If it's like stealth SOG type stuff, there's got to be one in there that's like visual camouflage,
Mm-hmm.
like light diffraction, horse shit, basically. And I'm gonna hide in here, back in the corner of the room. It's all of its weapons in full flower,
Mm-hmm.
and activate the light diffraction stealth system here in the half light of this room.
Okay.
And hopefully they will come in and give up. That's
all right.
fighting the whole squad doesn't sound like the first thing I want to do, but I will definitely do it if that's what's required.
All right. So you have put yourself into a corner that is providing some coverage for you.
Yeah.
There is a couple. You found a couple crates that you can hunch behind.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just some combination of the light and like breaking, not having most of the suit visible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You still do have the keyboard with you that you took into the cube.
Yeah.
If you want to start typing on that, but you do hear blasts that are continuing to batter on the door as you sit inside of this building.
Yeah, I may not. If I'm essentially trapped here, but what I want is as much surprise as I can get. But the truth is, the truth is that I can probably. It will be. I'm going to have the benefit of surprise because they're not going to expect what they see coming out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So that may be all the surprise that I actually need. I'm going to send a ping. The last thing I'm going to do with this keyboard is send a ping back to Oberon, and I'm just going to say, help. and then I'm going to turn the dish back to its original location.
Okay. All right. So you see the doors just blast open from your viewpoint.
Yeah.
You are directly across from the opening, but you can see around the corner of the crates that you're hiding. See around the side of the crates that you're hiding behind. You can see the wreckage, and you can see out onto the battlefield.
Onto the field itself, just through this tiny like pinhole.
Yeah. What you do see though is that two of the infantry are making their way into the door space, but two are remained outside behind a makeshift barrier.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And you see the two cross the threshold of the door and start to make their way around the inside of the building as you're lying in wait.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until let's see. Yeah. I'm going to steady the this arm-mounted LMG, basically. Pup, you gotta relax. I'm gonna steady it on one of these crates and just wait for them to get far enough in that I'll be able to clean them up on the way out.
Okay. Make me a. Do you have stealth or anything that you would use for hiding?
It's a 2, as I recall.
Mm-hmm. But with this suit on, you can add another die.
Oh, wow. Let's try another one. Yowza. Okay, so 11, 12
okay,
plus 2, 14.
Yeah, let's go. I got 12. So
nice. Okay, so these guys are good. They miss me because of this suit.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as they cross a certain threshold, I just open it up.
Okay. Yeah, they walk around, miss you, and you see their backs to them.
Yeah.
You see their backs to you as they start to kind of move around the ring of this space.
Yeah. As soon as their backs are turned, I'm going to do everything that I can to transform them into a liquid. And
right.
then from that point, then the two who are out front, then it'll be their opportunity.
All right, I am guessing that you have your reflex is 2, right?
Exactly right.
And do you have an arms ability? I think small arms you got.
Yeah.
You can add that to this.
Okay, cool. Then try this.
So you roll 2d6 plus that.
I do. I get a 6. So my luck ran out. But it stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah, I rolled a 7. So they immediately turn around as the shells just go. The blast just goes flying by them.
Oh, and yeah. I think the Stavron is just not prepared at all for what this demon suit is.
Did you roll single ones?
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
So 3 plus 4, 7.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not good. But he's just not prepared for it. Like he just turns on the hose,
mm-hmm.
and it just isn't ready for what it does to the system.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like yeah, and so he turns it on, and it bounces and climbs straight through the roof.
And you see them turn around, put their pistols down, and take and unsheath vibro swords.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's another way to do this. there's another way to handle this, I guess. So yeah, if they're pulling out the melee weapons and the right arm has climbed up to the roof, yeah, it's time to see what this pile driver can do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Much better. Okay, that is an 11.
Okay, I got an 8 plus reflex plus. I got an 11 as well.
Nice.
So you do hit, causing. What happens?
I mean, because this is a very special episode, and it's the movie version of it. The arm that has the vibro sword disappears.
Okay.
This is like an industrial. This is like the thing they put at the end, like it's like a hydraulic jackhammer and when its kinetic energy is released, it just that half of him is not there anymore.
Okay.
Basically the mechanism extends and retracts in a fraction of a second.
So, as a riposte, the other infantry to your back slams his goes to swing with his sword as well.
As he should.
Now you're going to roll 2d6 plus reflex, so 4. I have got a 2, 10 plus 5. I got a 15.
Oh, you got me on there. I even did well. I had a 13 even.
Okay. You're going to take 4 points of damage on your physical condition monitor, but you're going to stave off 2 points of that.
Nice. She just staves it right off the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we almost never get to use the little tracker thing because we're always in our mechs. Yeah, and so that basically just comes in from behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it swings and slices you across the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn on him in this darkness, because if he got behind me to do that, then that means he's against the wall. Yep. And I'm gonna pin him to it.
Okay.
With this monster machine.
Okay.
With my private kaiju.
So roll me 2d6 and it's plus 4.
Oh yeah, and I have done so, and I have delivered unto you a 12.
Oh wait, no, I have 14.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah. So
wow. Special forces. He's special teams.
I got 2 5s plus reflex. They have a reflex of 2. So you try to pin him against the wall, and he just ducks and slides over.
Yeah, just ducks around the armature.
And he comes in for another attack. That is an 11.
All right.
So you got another 2d6 plus 4 to...
Yeah, here it comes. This is 7 plus 4, which is 11.
So he swings, but you're able to duck with incredible haste underneath the slice, and pop back up again.
Yeah. So we've had multiple swings of this kind, and I think that Stavron's next technique, for his next trick, he is going to go back to the firearm.
Okay.
And try to finish it this way. I mean, after multiple, this is clearly this guy's Bailey. This is his bailiwick. This opponent is just having fun.
Yeah.
Let's put a stop to it. Now we're talking. That is 11 plus 4.
I have a 6 plus 4, so 10.
Yeah. So 15.
Yep. And that weapon's going to do 5 points of damage. He's going to soak 1 for 4. So he is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He is clinging. You can just see him staggering back from the shock of that pistol.
Yeah, and that's fine. I feel confident that he is chastised.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to back up. I'm going to keep that weapon trained on him, and take a look over my shoulder to the door.
You see there are still the 2 infantry behind that makeshift barricade with their armaments pointed at the doorway.
Okay, perfect. Okay, this is what I like. So, And this is a little bit more elaborate inside, but is itself a hollowed out shell of something that looked like a building as well.
It's not hollowed out. It was a building. It's still in operation.
Okay.
You have seen the comm systems that you were able to find,
True.
and all other kinds of electronics. But there's nothing much else. I don't think of relevance that you could find useful in here.
Yeah. Then I'm going to jump. This guy against the wall. I'm just going to get away from him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to rush the front door with um the pile driver, and just try to put one down as I exit the building.
Okay. Make me 2d6 plus your reflex.
Indeed.
I got a 10.
Oh, this is a 9, unfortunately.
Okay. You take -2 points of damage from that. So you take 1 point of damage because they are at such a distance away that it barely skims the suit, and the suit blocks most of it. So you take 1 more point.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, so let's see how much they want to deal with this. I mean, they've just seen what I can do. I'm going to run out of this building unnaturally fast.
Mm-hmm.
In a wearing a twisted parody of a human shape, bristling with weapons, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I can understand why they would be mad, but I'm also going to give them an opportunity not to fight the devil.
Okay. They are still firing. They still look like they are going to be firing on you.
Yeah. Then I will respond in kind.
Okay. Your attack.
Here we go. Ooh, that is 16. That's as good as I can do.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
It's a crit on dice. I mean, it's never happened to us, so I'm not sure. I don't even know if that does a specific thing in Destiny. I assume it does.
I will let you take one of them out.
Yeah. That's how it's going to be.
So what happens? They're both standing next to each other behind
Yeah.
this barricade outside of the.
So they're both firing. They're both firing their pistols over this. Maybe one pistol, one submachine gun, and then as I run toward them, I bring the pile driver up, and it trivially. I mean, no measure of its force is arrested by this barrier at all. It's like a piñata. The point of this thing just goes directly through it, and then through the man behind it, retracts, and he falls down.
Okay. And as you do that, you see another sword come swinging towards you. For 11. Can you beat an 11?
Let's find out. I can.
What?
4 + 4 + 4.
So as you pummel him into the ground, you follow his body movement, and the blade just skims across the top of your head, and you pop up.
Nice. Okay, so now we have the guy in there that I left to tell the others.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has been dissuaded, perhaps.
Yeah, he's bleeding out. He's alive but bleeding out.
And then there's the guy to the right as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll turn my man pulper machine on him next.
Okay. Ooh, I got a 14.
Yeah, that's not good. This is a 9, which is, I think you'll agree, less.
Yes. As he pushes you up against the barricade and stabs you through your side, and pulling the sword back out as you take 4 points of damage.
All right.
Oops, sorry, 3 points of damage. So you get -2 for that.
Yeah, it slices a little bit off of there for sure. Okay. Well, I have to put these weirdos to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put him to bed. So I'm gonna put him to bed. Forever, I think. I'm gonna roll 2d6.
So mine. Oh.
Yeah, but mine's gonna be higher.
Is it? Because I got a solid 10.
Well, I have an 11 here, so.
God damn it.
You know.
No, it's great. It's great.
No, 7 plus 4. That's what we like.
Yeah. How does it? What happens as you finish him off?
So, the other guy is over there, watching this.
Yeah, you can see him trying to raise himself up with his one arm that's left and look out.
No, and so I am looking over through the optics of this thing, looking around the side of this building at the rest of the field. And as he comes in, he raises the viro blade and brings it down just as the piston comes up through the elbow. The blade is shattered. He's spun around dramatically. And I basically break into a run.
Okay.
And I'm gonna figure out what the top line of this is. I think that I'm gonna put one more chip in. I'm gonna say that this thing has rudimentary jump capability.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start not being on the ground anymore. I'm gonna be up on top of buildings, surveying the field. What's the news from Lake Wobegon for values of Lake Wobegon, which are the battlefield here?
You can see the von Luckner has stationed itself on the hillside to get a better vantage point at Burnout, and Burnout and the Spartan are in close combat at this point, and they are kind of doing a dance around the structures on the field.
Macabre.
Yeah, see what we did there.
Dance on the cob. So yeah, I think I might have a different way of handling that with my pneumatic device.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, here it comes.
I got an 8, just so you know.
Okay, this is 6 plus 1 plus 3. So that is 10.
10. Okay, on this from your vantage point, you've been able to jump up on top of this air structure. It's the next building up. From this point, you can see across the battlefield, and where you're at, there are 2 large structures on the eastern border of the field. Where the enemy op 4 originally came in, and
that's definitely their field edge.
Yeah, on the northern building, you kind of see glimpse, like a glint, in when the sun hits it in the right way, of something massive inside of the building.
Oh, it's like a hangar.
Mm-hmm.
So the von Luckner is probably not going to be going super crazy while Burnout is in close combat. it's probably not going to be going super crazy on him, is my guess.
Right.
So while he is occupied with that, this is my chance to get from this side of the field to the other side.
Okay.
So yeah, while that turret is aimed downrange there, um, this is going to be like a grasshopper type situation where I'm gonna run, get behind building, like get behind the silo, jump from behind there, to the buildings that are on the other side of the road. I'm basically just gonna. Anytime I land, I'm gonna be behind a building.
Yeah, and you're just popping along the upper ridge
Yeah.
of the battlefield, and literally no one is paying attention to you at this point.
This is amazing. This is the freedom I always dreamed of.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
but
see the von Luckner, the Spartan. Everybody is concentrating on Burnout and the rest of the crew.
oh yeah, I mean they're in some really serious machinery.
Hmm.
Like the Samira and the Blood Asp are titans
Yeah.
of the field. I mean, and that Samira has had several million C-bills pumped into it to make it even worse.
Yeah.
Um,
You do notice in your jumps the two other infantry units, one that came from the east and one that came from the south, are
Yeah.
closing to the center, and the one that came to the east is moving more north, north of the center as well.
yeah, so basically they're going to where I'm going to be going.
Possibly, it looks like they're going to back up the Spartan. That's engaging with Burnout.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well here, then I'm gonna complete my circuit over here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Probably just one more leap from this little dip here in the top, um, up one uh, story to behind the larger building.
Yeah, well, as you get over there, you can see that these structures are almost equal in their size.
Oh wow. Okay.
Though one is considerably lower due to its placement on the ridge.
All right, but one of these had there was a glint as the sun is starting to go down.
Yep.
We had seen
A glint of a massive structure inside.
side. That's exactly where I'm going to focus my attention.
Okay. You can easily get into this structure and facility if you want.
No, and in fact, before I was, trying to figure a way in, or I would just get in there. I'm literally going to pulverize the door.
Okay. The door breaks open with ease. You don't even have to roll it for this one.
It goes straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to move in, like I own the place, basically.
Yeah. And
just walk straight in.
And this too.
Slightly through the door.
Yeah, and you just get a rush of air that often fills a stagnant room, a hollowed out stagnant room, a hangar, kind of rush out at you.
Yeah. So this is sealed up for some purpose.
Mm-hmm. But you immediately recognize that purpose because hanging from the ceiling, you see the torso of a phoenix hawk.
Oh, wow. Treasures. How does it look?
It looks highly damaged. Let's just say you're not piloting it today.
Well, I could pilot the arms.
Yeah.
Crawl around like a zombie.
Yeah.
In the top part of the mech. That's not going to satisfy. That's insufficient. I fear. As a battle platform.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with it. I know about it. It's I think he's never seen one. But I think he's heard of it. So there's a little bit of a hush. And Is that what I think was glinting?
Yes.
Oh man. Well, here. So I'm just gonna continue my circuit. If this is a place where if this is a hangar, it might be that they have something in here that's, um, it might be that they have something in here that's, uh, perhaps a little bit more, entire.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In this one, all you see are more computer access points that you could tap into, and repair tools.
Oh yeah, and so, man, this place is. If we're able to figure out the battle part of this, and come out on top of that, there's a lot of other stuff here, like outside what the job asked for.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that we should be pulling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. My suspicion is that these people would be incredible enemies.
And
they've got quite a nice collection.
Yeah, and all you can hear, you just hear from the outside now. Come out! We've got you surrounded.
I'm gonna go out the other side of the building.
Okay.
I'm just gonna punch a hole through the other side of the building.
I'm gonna spend a chip. And
No!
as you punch through that hole, you see the other unit has made its way to the backside of the building, and have guns pointed at you.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, I'll listen if they want to get splashed with the hose. No problem. It's perfectly acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a choice that they made, but they're not going to have a super long time to regret it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if I should just run through them.
Well, they're gonna shoot first, just so you know.
Oh yeah. They gotta go. They gotta go.
So 2. Roll your defense for four times.
Here it comes. The first one is an 8. Ugh. That is a 9. Ugh. That's a little bit better. So 8, 9, 10 so far.
Okay.
And then the last one is much better. So 8, 9, 10. 13.
Okay. So before their bullets are able to eject from their weapons,
Yeah.
you just hear poof, 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 as a strafing run, as you see the Calypso fly overhead and drop an armament directly over these infantry units. And you see Oberon out on top of the Calypso.
Oh, he's on the exterior rail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they can fly the thing.
They can now. The nanobots have now gained access to the computer.
The operative line, I think, is they fly now, but that's purely ironic. Okay, but it probably knocks me away from the hole. Like if they're getting hit by the
absolutely, you take blast damage. You take at least 2 points of blast damage.
Oh yeah, it just knocks me back through the hole,
Mm-hmm.
and then the like sight outside the hole is completely occluded.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that thick smoke has begun to suck inside the interior space of the building,
Mm-hmm.
which I will use to escape.
Okay, you're able to escape out the back. And where do you want to go? Do you want to go down to
Yes, exactly.
The closest place to hide is that next similar building on the lower ridge.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the jump capability to get up, come down, and gain access.
Okay. You open the doors. This is the same feeling as you got before. Another hangar.
Yeah.
As the doors slide open.
Another humidor for mechs.
Mm-hmm. But as you make your way in, you barely notice this as you're pushing your way as fast as you can through this opening. But as you start to look up, you see the legs of a mech come into view, and you start to raise your head, and before you is a full functioning, or at least a fully formed,
fully whole
Flashman.
Now, does this Flashman have Halloween colors?
Why, yes, it does. It looks like a candy corn.
Did you paint this Flashman earlier today?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and so this place has, and it's currently basically up on the scope, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna gain access to this system, drop this thing down, change its access codes, and get in it.
Okay. Roll me a computer check for to access it.
Hopefully the dice are coming back.
Ooh, maybe not for you.
Oh, that's not
This
good.
isn't-
That's only 10.
No, it's a 9. So.
Okay, good.
Oh shit! Oh, you got a 10. Okay.
Yeah. It's like I've had some amazing computer rolls. For me, 10 is not hitting. So yeah, I'm gonna drop that thing gently
Mm-hmm.
onto the factory floor. Suss out its access codes from the system here, from the engineer's logs, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get back in this thing and join the fight.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in this. I'm gonna turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna essentially open up a rear flank on this
on the
enemy.
Spartan and the von Luftner and.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting for me. This is a very good time.
I think that's where we end it, as the bay doors open and you move the Flashman out onto the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly right. It just the doors open, the warning lights go on.
Yeah, danger zone comes on the radio. Like.
Yeah, the doors slide open, and it comes out, just the torso twisting toward the field,
Mm-hmm.
Legs orienting themselves toward that new direction, and the camera is placed on the ground, so you just see it from that back position as it enters, and then we'll have a drone shot where you'll see the whole fight basically. But yeah, I'll take that thing back out there and put it to work. That's gonna be awesome. And it has a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you have that with you now?
What? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you should. Or did you already flash it on the cam?
I think so. Where's the camera? Hi, friends. It's Candy Corn Mech. Also, could probably play for Wisconsin or something like that.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, basically.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
There he is. He's ready to go. Hey, Denami. A pleasure. No. I hope that everyone has enjoyed while I'm still getting a little bit better. This is the most activity I've had in several days, and it's possible to become winded playing Battletech. It turns out. It's time to rest this old man.
You realize you would have been toast if you didn't make that call to Oberon,
Yeah, it was not going to be good.
you had like 3 or 4 points left on your chart.
No, those other guys did a real number on me, like an actual full-on trained soldier inside this is probably a different thing. As it stands, it's just a piece of life support equipment.
Yeah, but the funniest thing is you gave the best part. What I love about those chips is you literally gave me the ability to spend one, right? Because I was blowing through chips, and I had one left when you spent the chip to call Oberon or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then also I had the very first chip that I spent. I mean, this is typical of our game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The very first chip I spent was to essentially separate this game from the other game, where I don't have comms, I can't get a hold of them. They're having their own huge fight, and then we get this super fun side adventure story out of it. Like, that was a blast. We've only had those types of adventures a couple times, and I think that the system is good at that too.
Oh yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure. Well, hey, Gathered Throng, thanks so much for rolling through this episode of Black Remnant. Obviously, as always, we're back in the mix after PAX Oz. We will see you next Tuesday. Until next time.
Bye, friends.
Bye.